Hello everyone, and welcome to our video series on gamification in the classroom. I'm Ron Kolick again, your host for this series, and gamification is an interesting topic. It's been around for a few years now. Another term or phrase used is also known as game-based learning. So if you're doing some searching for these terms, I would use those as well. And it's really a simple concept, and it's something that we've all been doing as educators for many years, is trying to incorporate different gaming elements into our classroom to encourage motivation, to get students involved in the learning process, and really to make learning a lot of fun. And there's so many ways you can do that. I mean, the old standard ways of, around the world and, playing those kind of games, or Jeopardy in the classroom, those are all gamification elements. But this particular series is going to focus on technology tools to help bring those aspects into your classroom. Okay, so in this first sort of area here, what I have here for us is I have a YouTube video I'm going to ask you to watch, which is my use of gamification in the classroom, and I kind of explain how I use badges, which we're going to get into later as well, in the classroom here. So this is kind of a whole video that I put together. I explain how I do my badging, how I motivate students with badging, and also how I even use Twitter as a way to sort of showcase the badges and students' achievements in my course. Okay, so I think that would be a nice sort of useful aspect here for you. Okay, now in addition to that, here we have kind of a lot of different websites and a great article that will help you with gamification. Okay, so the first here is how game-based learning helps students of all ages. Okay, it's really good. It gives you some theories behind it, some learning theories. All right, and then it kind of gives you ways to incorporate it into your own classroom. So things to talk about is Minecraft, which we're going to talk about later, and some other aspects. Okay, so just keep that in mind. It's a good sort of how-to article. This is the ultimate guide to gamification. It tells you what it is, the history of it, the components of it, like having point system, as I mentioned before, badges and so forth, bonuses, and some things that can go well, some things that perhaps you have to be aware of. So this would be a good article to dive into. The third here from the Newton Center here is just a definition of gamification and a nice infographic of like what it is and how it's having impacts on education, so you can see where this is going. I think this is a nice little piece to kind of look at. Okay, and then the last is more of a scholarly article, obviously, something that you might want to dive into later, but it's sort of the research behind gamification and some of their findings in terms of how this can impact learning. Okay, so it's kind of the aspects that we're going to look at in this first module. Okay, so thank you so much for watching as we dive into more in-depth examples going forward into gamification. Thank you.